Hello everyone, welcome back to today's video. For today's video, you guessed it, the 26 books I want to read in 2026. Can we believe? I personally don't know how it's already 2026, but anyway, I know we have to get through 26 books, so why don't we go ahead and jump right in today's video. Okay, these are in no particular order, however, you know that I gotta put Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil first on this list. One, because the cover speaks for itself. The most gorgeous cover I've ever seen. I mean, come on now. This is the first book on the list. I'll go a little overview of it. I won't go into every single book because we got 26 to go through. So, this book is a sapphic historical vampires story. I believe it's mostly fiction, however there are sapphic elements to it. Don't know if I'm correct or not. I just saw the cover and I bought it. So that is why she needs to go on the list. And also, I mean, how could you not? I don't know where I'm gonna put these. The next book is A Court of Wings and Ruin. This is the third book in ACOTAR, The Court of Thorns and Roses, and I have yet to carry on in the series, and I think, when did I start the first book? I need to carry on and just get through it. This isn't my favorite series, I could tell you that, and where we end up with being left in the last book is not my favorite place to start this book in, so I'm kind of dreading this book, if I'm honest. So that's not the best news. But, I mean, and I'm pretty sure she's the thickest. No, probably the last one's the thickest. 700 pages? Okay. Next is Nocticadia, because I don't even know why I haven't read this book yet, if I'm honest. It's pretty thick, so that's probably why. And I'm pretty sure this is dark academia, or dark romance, dark academia, professor, student, that kind of thing, age gap. I'm a big fan of some of those tropes in there, but I do want to read it, and I feel like I could like it. So obviously, I want to read it this year. Next is The Right Move by Liz Dunford, because I read Mile High, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it, contrary to what people have said. So I'm thinking I may really like this entire series. This, I believe that we're following the brother of our last FMC and her best friend, I believe. So, best friend's brother. And I'm thinking this is baseball, correct? Yes, it is. It is baseball. Love that. I really know nothing. So, that's carried throughout most of these books. So, if you're looking for plot points, no clue. No clue. I love going into books blind. Next is Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. Now this whole universe, I've heard amazing things. Obviously, I do want to get to all of these books in this series. However, they are pretty chunky, 400-ish pages, and also, I don't know if I want to start a new series this year, honestly, even though about all of these books next to me are a part of series, but this one I feel like, I don't know, this one kind of scares me more than the others for some reason. I don't know, maybe all of the hype around it. I'm not sure. So I feel like I might end up liking Daisy Hates more than Magnolia Parks. And I know nothing about either of the stories, so I'm just kind of creating a bias. I don't know. Okay, next, The Touch of Gold and Madness by K.L. DeVore. This, I guess, is a series. I thought it was just one book, one standalone fantasy book. Apparently not. It's a whole series. The next book, I actually have no idea when it's coming out or if it's already out, but I've heard great things about this book. Really good things. So I want to try it out and see where it goes. All I know is fantasy, and I think vampires. It looks like an enemies to lovers. I don't know, and I don't need to know. Next, When the Moon Hatched, in hardback, because if you think I'm reading that 1,000-page paperback, you are sadly mistaken. I can't read that, but I can read a 500-ish page hardback. Now, I've heard great things about this book. if I can say so myself. The only thing is I've heard that this glossary is like 10 pages long, so that is definitely a choice. Oh, and a pronunciation guide. Love that, love that. And a map. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I have yet to get to it. I don't know what's wrong with me. Next is somewhat of a recent purchase. Diabound by Sable Sorensen. This book, I know that the second book comes out May 5th because I've searched this book so many times and I've heard a lot of good things about this book, including it has fated mates. You cannot go wrong with fated mates. Okay, you can't. You cannot. That immediately hooked me. Okay, I was hooked, grabbed, attention caught by the fated mates. Okay, so that's kind of all it really took. And I think it's an enemies to lovers, if I'm not mistaken. So yes, ma'am. Okay, second, let me know if you guys want a reading vlog of any of these. Reckless by Lauren Roberts. I read Powerless and Powerful. Love Powerful, gave it 4 stars even though it's a novella, and gave Powerless I think 3.75. It's kind of, the memory of that is kind of slipping away from me because I obviously didn't love it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. My heater just kicked on, so if you hear that in the background, that's what that is. I'll just speak a little bit louder now. Reckless, I've heard mixed things on. I've heard people who didn't love Powerful loved Reckless, and vice versa. So I'm not too thrilled about reading this, but I do want to finish the series, and I just need to know what happens, okay? And that's that. Ooh, next, if I don't get to this, then this is the book that I will be reading instead. But if I didn't get to this by the end of the year, yep. Quicksilver by Kelly Hart. Yes, Brimstone did come out a while ago. I have not even read Quicksilver, so I'm putting it on the list because it's worthy. It's worthy. I've been thinking about this book actually recently, but there is no way that I'll be able to get to it in time for this video to go up. So here she is. Here she is. Almost 630-ish pages, which isn't as bad as I thought it was, honestly. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I just really want to get to it because everyone's talking about it. This is like the fantasy right now. So like I need to know. I need to know. Okay, next we have Terror at the Gates by Scarlett St. Clair. I've heard lots and lots of good things about this book, but I've also heard a couple negative, which I'm just gonna drown those out because I'm excited for this book. I really want to know. I really do want to know what goes down. It's a fantasy, I know that, and it's kind of like, I think it's like somewhat of a heist kind of book, and I'm pretty sure there's a cool magic system in this book, and I also know that there is a little bit of religious, what's the word I'm looking for? Themes. Religious themes in this book, and I am excited about it. Okay, now we're moving a little bit into another genre, okay? And can we have a moment of silence? I still have not read Haunting Adeline. At this point, it's kind of embarrassing, if you ask me. At this point, I need to just do it. I don't understand. I don't understand. Believe me, I don't understand either. Dark romance, obviously. I don't know. So she's going on this list because she hasn't had a year not on this list since I got her. So next is Kiss the Villain because Rena Kent. If you haven't seen my post that I made about like the bookish wrapped, here's my Instagram, okay? If you haven't seen it, go look at my Instagram. It's on there. I've read 5 books by Rena Kent in 2025. So I do believe I need to read her entire backlist. And moving forward, which I'm gonna count also Sweet Venom and the 3rd book in that series is, but I need to read whatever Rena comes out with because I love her books. I love her book. And this is also queer. Yes, please. Yes, please. Next, Kiss of the Basilisk. I know that the 2nd book, because I saw it in Barnes, came out, and I really want to know what requires a dark romance, I'm pretty sure, having a 2nd book, because most dark romances, they end up being 1 book and then they move on with the next in the series or something, but no, I am interested. I think this has some elements of fantasy. Love that. I'm quickly running out of room over here. Okay, next is Reign of Shadows and Endings. I honestly want to read this entire series, and also the Lady of Darkness series by Miss Melissa K. Rorick. That's gonna take some time, let me tell you. So, because look at that. Do you see that? That is insane. Oh my god, and I also saw this whole list in Barnes the other day, and I cannot tell you how much joy I got from that, because actually having books I want to read in my Barnes & Noble is probably a 1 to 50 chance. So I was very thrilled. So this must go on the list. I've heard a lot of people crying over this book and this series actually in general, and I think this is a dark romance fantasy. So we'll see how that goes. Guys, you're probably sick of me saying the City of Gods and Monsters because I've said it so many times throughout this year. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Ultimately, I know that the 4th book in the series came out a few months ago or something, and people have been really loving this series, and I just haven't read the 1st book. I don't know what's wrong with me. Once again, I'm putting this book on another TBR. Yeah, it's happening. Hopefully I'll get like an audiobook or something to help me actually read it, Okay, now, next, The Serpent and the Wings of the Night, Carissa Broadbent. I have had this book, couldn't tell you how long. I think it's been like a year and a half, and I still haven't read it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know. The last couple of months, I've actually had a really bad slump with any kind of reading, no matter what it is. Let's just move on. Why don't we? Let me preface this by saying I think I just love when series are finished and I could just jump right into them. You guys, yeah. You guys can yell at me. It's fine. It's fine. I understand. The Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole. Yeah. Does this look familiar to you? Because it sure looks familiar to me. I've stared at this book so many times in the last year and a half. Trust me, I know. We're gonna move on. I can't. What am I to say at this point? Number 21 on this list is Shield of Sparrow's Fantasy. I keep saying this, but I could be spreading misinformation. I think it's Stephanie Perry's first fantasy, and I know that there's a second one coming out, and I think the cover is purple. That's all I remember. I've yet to read this, and I've heard a lot of people really enjoy it, so it's going on this list. Now, I haven't seen what comes out or what's going to come out in 2026, so this is pretty low on my list of things that I want to read in 2026, but it's still on there. Like, I still obviously want to read it. I mean, if I have it, I want to read it, And also, I forgot to mention, this is kind of my physical TBR for 2026, not my, things I want to read that I don't physically have. So, let's just preface by saying that. Next is Forge in Blood. I've heard that this is a Why Choose fantasy romance, and I heard it's really good, really, really good. So I said why not, and I got it. Do I have the rest of the books in the series? No, which is kind of putting me off of reading it, so maybe I should just get it. I don't know, there's a thought. I just heard a lot of people really liking it. Witches Prophecies. Ooh, this just went up further on the list. Alright, third to last book is going to be Metal Slinger by, I can never say her last name, but Rachel Schneider. This has been recently traditionally published. I said recently, but I actually don't think it's been recently. I think it's been a couple of months ago. Would you be surprised if I told you my battery died? Yes, I love it when the battery dies. But as I was saying, Metal Slinger, this is on the list, and I've heard really amazing things, especially about the ending. So it's going on the list just for the ending. My back hurts so bad. Okay, next is Belladonna. This, I think I got this last Christmas. This has been on here for very long, and I just really love the cover. And I've heard that death is personified in this book, and my friend really enjoyed this book. So I figured I should probably read it at some point. The last book. The last book. If my count is wrong, then that is very unfortunate. But the last book is Iron Flame because I read Fourth Wing, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Didn't think I was gonna enjoy it because usually when people say hyped up things about books, I tend to not like them. So I was expecting to not like Fourth Wing, but my friend pushed me to read it. Thank you, friend. And I enjoyed it a lot. So next I have to read Iron Flame. And as you can see, she is chunky. And where we left off is pretty severe. So I should probably start reading this sooner rather than later, if I'm honest. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year. Thanks to all of you for supporting me. I love you all. And here's to 2026. Can't believe I said that. Another year, another bookish year. More content to come. I swear to you, more content to come. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you had an amazing holidays season, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that in my other videos. They were pre-filmed because I knew I was going on a trip. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year. Whatever you celebrate, you're always welcome here. Literally, I could not explain to you. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video.